YouTuber.
All right, so I reckon we're live. Instagram is gonna be live in a moment.
Cool.
So check, check. Okay, we're good. Um, let me just get this.
What do we do now? Yeah.
Okay, we're
Hey.
live. We're live. All right, so you want me to keep reading these head. So we were having some technical difficulties,
Hey,
just
don't we
getting some
all?
audio sorted out. So that's why we're 15 minutes late. But while we were doing that, instead of just saying check, 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 I was reading headlines. So some headlines. I don't know if you've seen this, but underneath the microscope, Angela, I don't know if you know this or not, but bird flu looks like piles of cash when you really zoom in
That's funny.
underneath the microscope. Bird flu looks like, I tell you, here's what's crazy, y'all. Here's what's crazy. The bird flu is infecting cows, right? How
Mm,
wild is
I need
that? Is
my cow
crazy.
puppet.
The bird flu is getting into the cows. That's what they tell us now.
Hey, I met somebody that I so want to just sit back and eat popcorn and witness you talking to.
Bring them up. So look, and anybody
I
else
was like,
that's listening into this, I have been asking liberals not liberals, that's a loaded word. I've been asking people with conventional beliefs
liberal just
because people, I don't know what word to put on it, but just anyone who wants to talk how would you put it, Angela? You tell me.
that
You know who I'm looking for because I've been asking you for it.
I know it would be pretty much staunch Democrats or like
Okay.
staunch
Well,
like liberal like they're hard lined.
even a staunch Republican, I think, would be fun, but a staunch Democrat, I just would love to have one that doesn't start that doesn't shut down.
Yell at you, freak
No,
out.
it's they can yell at me, that's fine, but just not shut down or get stuck on the same point for like an hour.
Right. Here, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
So here's another headline: Charlize Theron says she's shockingly single.
How is that shocking?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what she says. She says men need to grow a pair and step up.
Fair. She lives in LA, right?
Yeah, that's part of the problem, I'm sure.
I know. It's like I had a
And
friend,
it's shocking, but well, anyway.
a hot friend of mine at least lives in LA, and she goes to Montana on fishing trips to get her fellas. And I was like, "You're smart,"
They call it Mantana for a reason.
but because you can't go like in LA, it's like insane.
Well, because there's no
Hi.
women. There's no women in Montana. Chiefs player suffers seizure, goes into cardiac arrest during a team meeting. I remember when highly tuned athletes were in peak physical condition. That's not going on anymore, I guess. Oh, did you hear that Biden took a dump in his pants again?
Nah,
Yeah, apparently he had to be hauled off to get a fresh diaper.
that happens. Hey, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay,
When you
so
shit yourself,
this is the one that I was reading about. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
what y'all gonna do? We're gonna hang out. We're just gonna talk truth on Sunday. And he was reading the headlines.
Yeah, these are the headlines today that either made me laugh
Tell us more. It's
or
funny.
just need to be spoken about. Okay, so during job interviews, employers say recent college graduates have. Do you want me to just read the list, or you want to take a guess what the problem is?
Have what? STDs?
You guys going straight to the sex. This is a job, and what kind of job are they? What kind of job do you think they're interviewing? This is
Well, everybody's a special worker nowadays.
yeah, that's what I think.
It's so true.
All right,
Same
so
here.
53% of employers say that their recent college graduates have struggled with eye contact, asked for unreasonable compensation.
For
That's
anything.
50%. So over 50% have struggled with eye
Like,
contact. Exactly 50% have asked for unreasonable compensation. 47% have dressed inappropriately. 27% inappropriate language. 21% refused to turn on a camera during a virtual interview. It's 2 out of 10. But here's the one that cracks me up.
Hey, y'all.
19%. You know what it is? You want to take a guess?
No. All right.
19% have brought a parent to their interview. Wow, that's crazy.
Wow. This reminds me of when I tried to get grits at Waffle House. And I was with my sister, and we walk. All we wanted was grits, and we go to Waffle House, which is 24 hours, and we go, and there was two women in there in their 30s, and one turned and looked at us like the place was on fire, and she's like, "Oh my God, you can't! No, no, no!" I'm like, "What happened?" And there's like four people. She's like, "We just can't handle it emotionally. We can't handle being here emotionally anymore, so we're gonna shut down." And I'm like,
Wait,
"It's
the Waffle House.
grits.
The
It's
Waffle House.
grits. You're at Waffle House. It's grits."
Wait, they couldn't handle the grits request and they shut down?
They couldn't handle anything. They were both having like
Well,
emotional.
they needed a mental health day, I guess.
And me and my sister were like, "What is the matter with you?" And then the younger kids we were with, they were like 16, totally were like, "Actually, they're probably just having emotions. Let's just let them close." And we're like, "What in the actual hell is going on?" I'm like, "I'm going to go back there and make me some grits. God's girl gets
Yeah,
me."
you just say, "Let me back there. Let
I'm
me get
serious.
back there. I'll
I'm
handle
like,
all of
"Listen,
this."
y'all just need to sit down or jump up and down or get rid of that trauma." Like,
So this is a good one right here.
God.
Hold on. Minnesota allows for permanent absentee voting. Okay.
What the hell? I got subbed. Can I get a shout out, please? My name is My Cock Stinks.
Okay.
My Cock Stinks?
So I don't know what this has to do with it. I'm just reading some more of these headlines. If any of them you want to talk about, 50 Cent believes black men are identifying with Trump. He says because of RICO.
What's Rico? Rico Suave?
No, RICO. Where it's like mafia crime bosses get hit with RICO. That's how a lot of them get busted. So
Oh, okay. I only have 3 subs. Listen, I've tried the subs, and those
what the
subs
hell
that
is this?
come in,
Oh,
they are literally like such a lame. Like that is
literally?
literally. Oh my God.
Wait, this is hot off the press here. You're gonna be shocked. This
Okay,
is
tell me.
gonna shock you. Apparently, Jeffrey Epstein's
It's a lot.
psychiatrist is in court now because apparently he had an 11-year-old sex slave. Yeah, that's shocking.
Whoa. Anywho, stop raping kids. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. That's really the note to everyone. I need a revival. Yes, please. Oh my God, for real, please. I love you. Hold on. Yes, Queen.
Wow. So,
Hold on. What are you doing? What are you? Are you reading the headlines? I got you.
yeah, so
You're not ignoring me. Oh my God. Look at. We're multitasking.
apparently Joe who cares who cares about Joe? Everybody knows that guy's unfit to, he can't. He's his brain's cooked. He's senile. It's just
Who are they gonna
it's
shove in
elder
there? What
abuse
I
at
want to
this
know.
point. It's pointless to pile on to him.
Um. Who are they gonna put in there? Is the question.
After Joe?
No, they're gonna shove somebody in there. Yeah. Don't you think?
Oh, you mean instead of Joe?
Get in there. Yeah.
Well, Joe said in the beginning of his term that when he has to go, he'll just fake an illness and he'll bow out. So,
There are 2 smart guys given what the other wants. Oh yeah, Jamie. I mean,
this
he's Epstein's psychiatrist. It's true.
this is a good one right here. This is crazy. I'm
I'm
actually
after
kind of
them all.
shocked at this. So Israel. So this is
It's a
really
great
stunning.
book.
So Israel has dropped more bombs on the Gaza Strip than World War two, then London, Hamburg, and Dresden, and all of World War II,
Jeez.
and by a lot, like more than double. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, there's Pride Month now. I don't know if you're aware of this. We're to celebrate our.
That's been happening for many years.
No,
But
I
I
know. I'm just saying it has begun, so we need to celebrate our Rainbow Coalition.
actually also I found out yesterday, 2 days ago, that there's Men's Health Awareness Month. It's June also.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do little shout outs to men every day on my social
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know they're. And speaking of men, since it's Men's Health Awareness Month, you can speak to this.
Okay.
I heard this week I've spoken to a lot of men, as you know, and again, the things that that women have done to men that are truly like horrendous
Hmm.
are bad. Are just it's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bad. I'm gonna write a book called "Stop Fucking Men." because
I don't know if that's
it's a
coming
double.
out right.
It's a double onto. It's a double. I don't mean it like that, but I meant like fucking over. Like it's just like whoa. The stories I've heard are like
Well, you want to talk about one, or you want to
uh,
just?
the false allegations when the girl wants more from you and you know that's
Hmm.
again another one. It's like wow. That's like not that is just yeah that's not good. That's like so legit not good. That's like deep.
Yeah,
Not
I think the solution to that is they need to pass a law that says if you do something like that, you get the sentence that the
that you were
person would
trying to
get
get.
for doing. Right. So then it would be like, ooh,
Yeah.
there's a little suspect maybe, but it's not clear cut, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
not, or if there's a penalty, oh, if he can prove that, what I'm saying is not true, then, straight to Yale.
It's not pretty
Straight
out
to
there,
Yale.
folks. And I've spoken to a lot of lawyers too about it because I did actually do a little. I did start writing about it. Um, that 30% of their cases are those cases. 30% are the girlfriends or that got mad, and it's like if you don't do whatever, it's like a threat, and then they do it. They like and they fabricate a lot. And the sad thing is there are real stories out there. I mean, you're really taking the truth away. I mean, there's plenty. Believe me, I've heard them of the real stuff. And man, it's kind of scary. It's really scary. So I was like, don't. I've told a couple women that on like online and in person when they're like, I called the cops on him or I did this on him. I'm like, yo, don't do that. Like that's just so. Don't involve the system. That's the
Mm.
worst thing you could ever do to anybody. That's just
I've
so.
got a, I've got another headline for you.
Me too, movement. Cray cray.
Men should date. This is from Cindy Steinberg, who goes by she, her. Men should date older women because they're two generations behind women. Mhm. They need to be raised still, which is why they'll benefit from the wisdom of an older partner.
Wait, the boys will benefit from the older women?
Well, she's calling men boys, essentially, she's saying that men are two generations behind women. So they need to go older
Right. To be
because to
equal,
be,
sort
yeah,
of.
right. Yep. That's what they're saying here. That's
I
interesting.
like younger men. Not gonna lie about it.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
hearted though. I have to accept it. I just have to just sit with it. Oh god. Oh, hurt. Oh, that hurt one.
what happened?
Oh god, that one hurt. Oh, I'm
Would you
fine.
hit your, you
I'll
hit
recover.
yourself with a stick?
No, I'll recover. I'll recover. No, just the dude I like that I drool over went on a camping bike trip, and am I there? No.
Huh.
Was I invited? No.
Hmm. I'm sorry.
Anyhow, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
What are you gonna do? Older women make the best gravy. Dale,
if that's code or what.
oh, yeah, is that code or are you being real? I did say you mentioned something earlier when we were not live about the you were reading the headlines and it was something
Oh,
great.
abolishing whiteness.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that Mark Levine says abolishing whiteness has never been more urgent. This is by Mark Levine, director of the
It's just
program in Global Middle East Studies at UC Irvine. He appears to be a balding white man. hmm
oh
I'm
my god.
guessing. I'm guessing he doesn't like himself much.
I was just like, oh my god. I did
Yeah.
talk to somebody the other day. God bless her because we had an awesome conversation. But she went down a rabbit hole of just going off on white people. She was just like,
Really?
I do not want because I asked her about golf. I was like, hey, what do you know anybody in the golf world in your area? And she was like, golf. I just said the evil word, and she just went on and on, done this whole thing about I hate rich white people. I hate rich white ladies. I don't want their money. I don't want nothing. Golf is horrible, and I mean, and just with the land is horrible, and the water is horrible, and I mean, it was everything bad. It was like, and I
Hmm.
was like, I'm glad. All right, I get how you feel about this. I was just bringing it up because I have a golf comedy, and I'm
Yeah.
40 pounds heavier in it, and it's really funny. And I thought you'd like to see it. And also the Asian, I have an Asian lead who's awesome. So it's like
hmm
I thought it might be fun fundraiser or something. And she was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, and also fair. I just want to throw this out to any of my friends who are really staunch on the line. Like, I don't like them people, or I don't like those people. Hey, listen, I'm the one who's friends with all of them because that rich billionaire lady at the golf club at the thing is thus also the lady who shoves me into the bathroom with her Chardonnay and puts me up and she's like, I can't talk to anybody about this, but my grandpa did all those things to us kids too. I can't tell anybody, but I appreciate you talking and I love you. Like, you know, so it's
Yeah.
like that is why I am everywhere. I'm friends with everybody because
Well, it
child
just
abuse has
makes
no
sense to be friends
boundaries.
with everybody.
Child abuse
The
has no boundaries.
the thing is, people at an individual level are generally great. People in a group, that can be a
Wow,
hellscape. You
that's
want another headline?
oh god, a group. I'd like a anyway. Go on.
You want another one? Do you want
Yeah.
another? So, okay, well, I'm not going to read the headline. This was because it's not on my page now, but there was. Did you hear about the German cop that broke up a guy holding down a new German, let's just say, someone, a border jumper? And so then the border jumper gets out because the cop pulls the guy off of the border jumper because, he was on top of this man. So then the cop holds down the guy that was holding down the border jumper and then gets stabbed to death by the border jumper. The guy had stopped the border jumper from stabbing people, and then the cop pulled the guy off the border jumper
To
and then
protect
got
the border jumper, and
but
then
then got stabbed by the border jumper and
did he
killed.
die?
He died. That was in
Oh,
Germany. That's it's not funny, that's just
that's
tragic, but
terrible.
like how programmed are people? Like, why wouldn't you act like, what's going on here? Assess the situation instead of just pulling a guy off and then letting a knife wielding lunatic stab someone. Yeah.
Sorry. White Rabbit, oh, right, Rabbi
Mm-hmm.
says, is it reverse racism technically a thing if it's from a white person? The majority of USA.
Wait, what
I don't know.
reverse racism? I thought reverse racism isn't that I don't know what it.
Leave it to the professionals.
I'm just saying reverse racism.
I'm
It
with you,
seems to me,
Ari.
isn't that like saying someone being there shouldn't be a term reverse racism, but I'm assuming that's
Yeah, right.
referring to someone being racist against a white. I believe that's legal. Can we check? We need to have someone. I believe that's legal. Yes, you can be
Also,
racist against
isn't
a
there
white.
technically nothing? There's nothing like we're all the same race. So
That's
racism
what's so hilarious about this. Like
so weird.
nobody is looking at their dog and going, "That's a black dog or a white dog." It's a dog. Like maybe somebody's it's stupid. It's just so ridiculous. We're all the same race. We can all interbreed, right?
You
It's
can.
right. I mean, well, okay,
Yeah,
there
all
are some
kinds of different
exceptions.
colors. We're
There are
brown.
some exceptions. There are some people that will always have a miscarriage because of an anomaly. But 99.9999 of us can all breed, which means we're all the same race, people.
I know it's
There's
up to
pigmentation. My ancestry spent more time in northern hemispheres. That's all. Same race.
some people look like early man.
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh my god, speaking of so random thoughts, throwing in random funnies. I'm on the boat going to Staten Island with my mother, who has
Okay.
no filter on her mouth. And she just looks around and she's like, well, Americans really are not a pretty people, are they? No, it's not like you're in Sweden or something where everybody's pretty. It's not like that here. She says, she's
Yeah. We're on
like,
the we're on the third generation of glyphosate right now. So yeah, we're starting to get, you know, lazy eyes and
quit
you
talking
know,
about me.
lazy eyes and droopy faces. Plus all the experimental gene therapy. A lot of people's faces are like, locked in a weird spot. Oh, and then everybody sits and plays video games all the time. So you got people that are shuffling around. Have you seen this? People that can't walk well, they like drag a limb. Yeah.
Is that from playing video games?
Well, yeah, because if you don't move enough, you get, you know,
Oh, God, so weird. I love your
yeah.
mom. Thank you, Dale. I'll have more of her. Wait until I have all these editors on board. I'm primed for all the stuff of my mom to just be shared. Oh, by the way, I inked myself more.
I
I'm
believe it.
now a villain, an
Okay.
outlaw with a
All right.
sleeve.
All you need is ink for that? What? What? Okay. What is that? I,
It's a tree of life and an arrow and a lantern all in one.
okay.
And it is eternity, and it's the number 8, and it's the shape of DNA, but it's a little wonky, like me.
All right.
Video games create sideways walkers.
Yeah, that does. Because they sit too much, so they have a leg that they drag around. So more breaking news. More breaking news.
This is
Putin
fun. This is a new
is
day.
selling arms to anyone who's against the West. That escalated quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. Um.
Right.
Yeah. There's more headlines here. It was one video I watched that was pretty funny was Adam Carolla, who I don't even really like, but Gavin Newsom, the fearless leader of California, was
Oh,
on
that's
this
who
thing.
I've heard they want to sneak in and replace Biden.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That dude. He's
he
crazy.
Corolla just like smashed him to pieces because he was talking badly about black and brown people.
What?
And then Corolla's like, "What are you trying to say?" And then he was for like a minute and a half, he was stammering all over the place. It was pretty funny. And then he finally admitted that we're all one race, and that's
That
nice.
is so funny.
It was just nice to see somebody put the screws to a politician relentlessly. I was, maybe I'm a fan now of Adam Carolla if he keeps talking like that. I like the way he talked today.
I like the way you talk, boy.
Yeah.
So tell me more. What's happening? What's our truth on Thursday? What's our theme? Dale loves my mom. You love it. What can I say about
Um,
my mom? I've had more amazing breakthroughs with my mom. Thank you.
I had an interesting conversation with a woman talking about how every time one of her friends starts to man bash, she's like, "I'm not having this anymore. I'm tired of hearing this nonsense."
Did she stop it?
So she's stepping up and stopping all man bashing in her orbit. I was like,
Nice. That's
I was
good.
like, that's cool.
That's
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
That's
hmm
really good.
But you asked me in other news, what'd you say, or what is the theme for tonight? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want the theme to be? I was just gonna keep reading headlines until we got a theme.
Until we got a roll. Yeah, I want.
Mhm.
Oh, I wanted to say about the survivors that for coming from all areas was my main. Like, don't judge anybody. That would be my lesson. having
Don't
been
judge anybody.
all around the country, all around the world. I would say everybody's going through it. Just like I have love and respect for humans, not hard lines. I'm more like a female Huckleberry Finn, hanging between all them poles. By the way, I hung a hammock outside. I'm very happy about it.
You're a convertible dress hammock.
No, I found out I can't actually say that my dress can be a hammock.
Why not? Oh,
For
because hammock's trademarked or
a
something.
totally different level of scrutiny with
Huh.
rules, and it's no longer clothing. It's a whole thing.
It's not clothing anymore.
Yeah, it's in a different category. It has to go through a whole different, like,
Oh, if you
if
say it's a hammock.
yeah, if she says, suggest some things, don't say this can also be a hammock.
Okay, like serum. Yeah.
like
Um,
it's like, yeah, it's
you can put it anywhere. Um, you could use it any way you want. So let's talk about. I don't know. One thing that I think is super important is that just say no to bird flu. I
you
mean, the
don't
fact that
run
they're
out and get
saying,
another vaccine or something for it.
here's how I know that it's bullshit. Okay, they're telling us right now that the cows are getting bird flu. Okay, let's just back up a notch. Cows are getting bird flu. Cows, totally different genome, totally like how. And now what? They're gonna say that, oh, it's getting to the cows and now to humans. Get out of here. None of that nonsense. The cows are not getting bird flu because birds don't even get bird flu. But if there was a transmissible thing, birds would get bird flu, not
God,
cows. Cows would get cow flu if there was such a thing, but there's not such a thing either. How
I
ridiculous.
so want you. I want to witness you talking to this fella that I met. That, oh my god, I haven't met. I talked to, and I was like, oh my god, just so like super analyzer controller brain, but
Mm,
the opposite of you. He's like, I've researched the vaccine, and I took it, and I took it absolutely, and I took it twice, and I'll do it again. Blah.
mm,
And
mm.
I'm like, wow. I just want to sit back and watch you two talk. I think the biggest thing with the race thing is that you wear on your sleeve and lead off with coming at a person with things automatic before anything with the color sets the tone.
Hmm?
Right. Well,
I didn't hear that.
basically he's saying that the thing with racism is you're already judging somebody for the color of their skin, or people do,
People do,
or they say
really.
like, "Ooh, that's a
I,
redhead." I don't deal with redheads.
hmm. I don't. I just.
No, not funny.
I mean, I understand. The
Redhead.
problem is that people lead with that, but the problem is that everybody knows that there's nuance to everything.
No,
So,
everybody doesn't know
so
that. I'm gonna jump in there.
you
No.
don't think everybody knows there's nuance?
No, I'm gonna say no. Not everybody knows that.
Hmm. I don't know. I disagree. I've seen people that like, you know, are racist, let's say, but then they have, four black friends.
Right.
So are they racist?
No.
Right. Like stereotypes are stereotypes because sometimes they're true, right? But you have the wherewithal as an individual to say, you know, like I understand there's a stereotype. If somebody comes up to me dressed in a leaf with no shoes on, right?
That would be me.
Like saying it,
That would be me.
talking to me in a language I've never heard before. I'm gonna make a judgment that like I'm not gonna be able to communicate well with this person. They're
I'd be
from
like,
a
"You're really
different
bad."
tribe.
Yes.
You know, if someone comes up to me and is like, "Well, good evening, Sean. It's a pleasure to meet you." Who cares what color his skin is? You know what I'm saying? And then it's
So, can you tell us a joke?
me.
Yeah. Do you know any?
Sure. What kind of joke do you want to hear?
Something to loosen you up. That's the request, is to make you laugh. It's like
So
a,
I need to tell a joke that makes me
I
laugh.
don't know. Yeah, I could tell you a
Yeah.
joke.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not good at remembering jokes.
Maybe it's
My life isn't shown.
maybe
I can tell you.
whoever's asking for that maybe doesn't maybe sarcasm isn't their love language.
No, I think he has a boy crush on you. Not
Oh,
that way, not the BBC way, but like a man respect crush.
oh,
Men
okay.
get that with you, but
All right.
you're also very like stoic.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
don't worry, if muscles in his face don't move, you're fine.
Not on this side. On this side, yes. Hey, you've said funny things to
Oh,
me before, and I've
so
laughed,
funny.
so it does work.
No.
It does work. It just has to be funny. I'm trying to think of something that happened
Oh,
on a
yeah.
ride
Oh, that's
recently.
so funny.
There was a bunch of funny things that happen on rides this past week. But I don't know about you, but I feel like I do so much every day. It's like 3 days ago feels like a month ago.
100%.
Which is so weird. I remember like when life moved at a slower speed. That's not what's happening now. Life for everybody, I think, is moving at high velocity.
Yeah, it is.
And but it's an interesting thing. We've gone from narrative based life to real time based life. And I don't believe that a lot of the people in power are understanding this. We are living in a real time based life, not a narrative based life. So they keep trying to force narratives down upon us. And real time doesn't jive with the narrative. It's a real time life now. So it's an interesting time to be alive. Like may you live in interesting times.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm happy.
Yeah. I just want to see what happens. Oh, and I want to hear the noises Billy Gates makes when he hears bad news about that he's going to prison or being executed.
We're getting executed. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, now I'm sad. Why are you sad? He wants to hear. Stop. Oh, there we go. Let's do the guadal throat. So anyway, did you have a date lately? Did you go on a date?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Literally, I can't even.
How do you feel? Oh wait, we won't get kicked off here. Hey, so how? What are your thoughts on? We could test it
On what?
on trans women, born men became women, however they did it or didn't do it, and they compete in women's sports. How do you
I
feel
think.
about
Uh, well, is there gambling?
that? No.
Hmm. Well, it seems really unfair. I think that I think you know what I think the women should be absolutely up in arms over it. Like if a person puts on blackface and is like I'm black, everybody universally is like that's not right. But a man can put on a dress and go woohoo, I'm a woman, and then every woman is just like yeah, you go sly,
Hold on.
sly
Hey,
girl,
girl.
sly.
You're
What? Like you should be offended. That dude didn't have to have awkward times and start bleeding and not knowing what was happening and then have to be worried about getting raped, worried about having children.
he's
All
identifying as a
he can just put
woman.
on a dress and then y'all just go sly queen. Really?
He
Y'all
can,
should be so offended. Every woman when that dude comes out to play whatever
like,
game
oh
he's
my god.
playing with y'all, they should all
There's,
say, "Nope,
but
I'm not playing."
I'm for the point. Like you should be able to. I get it. I mean, I know I have trans friends, but I'm
You're
like,
for
we
that.
already have Special Olympics.
Right. Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
that be
Have
a part of the Special Olympics? Am I evil?
yeah, that seems fair.
Right. Okay. Now
Yeah.
go back. There is gambling involved. What's your answer?
My money's on the dude. I think it's great. Whoever has more dudes on their team, that's
You're going for the dudes.
I'm going all the money's on the dudes.
And see,
Who
all my
it's
trans
like
friends will
it's like
laugh
back
at
in
that. It's the
well
whole like, oh my god, you're the devil because you even made something funny.
they will laugh at that, they won't laugh at that.
They will laugh at that. It's the
Okay.
other people that are like, I don't know, that aren't even, you know what I mean? They're not even trans. Like my legit trans friends are actually
Yeah.
gun owning conservatives. Actually,
What about this? I feel like we talk
so
too much
funny.
about the trans stuff because it's so boring. It's so
Yeah, we don't need to
boring.
talk about
Like, but the other thing is like they're like, you can't handle that we want to read stories to children, and it's like, well, okay, if you're trans and you want to read a story to a child, that's one thing. If you're trans and you want to read a story to a child in lingerie, that's a different thing. Because people don't want women reading stories to children in lingerie.
it.
Well,
Oh
some
yeah, no,
people do. But the point is, if it's
you have to be
it's
respectable.
right. Like if you dress like a respectable woman, you might get respect and not because people are going to be like, yeah, whatever, live your life.
I
But
would try it, but I can't find pumps to fit me. I'm sure you can. I helped a dude recently who all he wanted to do was
good
just
for
wear a
you.
dress. I was like, so just wear a dress. You could do that 7 years ago. Come on.
I mean, years ago they called them kilts.
And then that was a big deal, and that's it.
Oh my god.
And then he tells me he's single and available, and I'm like, that's good for you.
You should have immediately then just said, "Yeah, but you're in a dress. That's a hard no for me."
It is a hard
Oh no, but that's the thing is that
no.
hey, you're doing God's work when you're spreading the truth. You're always doing God's work when you're
Hey, I
spreading the
tell
truth.
them they
Yeah.
got
Did
played.
you look fabulous in that dress? Will you date me? Hell no, you're in a dress.
No, no. I say you got played. You're on bad food. You're on
Mhm.
bad food. You believe media. You're wasting time
Mhm.
doing like all this weirdo shit. You're doing and the PORN addiction and all that stuff. You're like, meanwhile, you're really
Oh,
talented. What the
you
f
know,
are you doing? That's what I
s-
say.
so I read an article earlier today um, that there's a Amazonian tribe that takes a week to get to the tribe, and an altruistic person. So it takes a week to get there. That's how remote this tribe is.
Okay.
So an altruistic person brought them Starlink, not Elon Musk. Somebody bought Starlink, brought it to this remote tribe. So now they have Starlink.
To do
So
what?
say what?
To do what with? Do they have
Because
computers?
the altruistic person is like, these primitive people need to have the internet to like survive. I don't even know how they survive without Uber
Are they
Eats.
literally like frying them with like five
I
minutes?
mean,
Just like,
look, radiation isn't good for anybody, but also, we're super tough. We can handle a lot of radiation if we're healthy. But that's not the point. So what do you think happened to this tribe? You think they're thriving now? Do you think they're in
they
trouble?
they
What do
nothing.
you think happened to this tribe? Because the article is, what do you think happened?
What is it? Nothing happened.
The town or the remote village tribe elders are now pissed because all of the young people have what they call a porn addiction. I mean, a
Oh,
corn
they
addiction.
did get on their
They're all,
phones. Oh,
and now they're all attacking the women in the tribe, trying to do weird sex things to them,
wow,
just in a matter of weeks.
wow.
Yeah. So again, we talk about it here and there, and like, and it's so funny. I had a friend of mine was at my house, a friend of a friend, and he was like just talking to me
Thank
like
you.
what I'm trying to be more healthy, feel better. What do I do? And I was like, well,
Stop drinking soda.
no, I said you got to stop with all the corn
Yeah.
you're eating.
Why are you
And he's
talking
like,
about?
why do you say that? And I was just like, I can tell. And then he's like, what? How can you tell? And then I'm like, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
You're looking at a lot of corn. I
Why are
can
you
just
looking at all
tell.
that corn?
And then he's like, well, you don't look at corn. And I was like, not in many years, no. No. And then he's
What's
just like,
the
well, it was like, how do you not look at corn? Well, I was like, it's
Mer
because you
Meredith
feel
says?
because you feel badly if you look at corn. Like evaluate yourself. How do you feel after corn? Not good.
Well, usually there's this wave of like, whoo, and you're like, you don't want to look at it anymore because you're done.
It's that feeling. If I wouldn't that feeling be somewhere on the spectrum of
Dopamine,
shame?
shame.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I don't want to look at any of that anymore. Like, if it was so good for you, you'd be like, that was fun. Let's just keep that going over here. You know, so
It depends on what you're watching.
it's all bad. The that without connection is like giving away your loosh to the to nothing. There's no reciprocal energy flow. Any
True,
rate,
but
so
people use it as a
he
quick,
was.
and
I
also,
can tell guys that are on a lot of corn is the point,
uh,
just by the way that they like interact and look at women.
well, because they're just checking out their asses all the time.
It's just a vibe when a woman's around,
I can't not look at an ass. I am always looking at the ass. I check
men
out
or women.
everybody's ass, but especially everyone's ass. I always check
Okay,
that stuff out. You
and
have a great
here's the
ass. You've got a great ass, especially in
thank you.
yeah,
Especially what?
in those one pair of pants that I've told you about. They're like
Oh,
those yoga fakey pants or something. They're
yeah. I don't wear those anymore, but yeah, those are Lululemon
oh yeah, sure.
four-way
You can't
stretch. Yeah,
wear
because
that
they're made
anymore.
of.
You're
Well,
poisoning your
I wear
soul.
them if it's like raining out or I need to do something dirty or
Oh,
messy.
oh
But
my
no,
God!
so
Hold on, Mered. We got comments. Meredith says you two make a good counterbalance. That's fun.
hmm.
And Angela play Wipeout. Oh, because like you want me to play the drums. I just was changing up the background for you.
So wait, we were talking about
Indiana.
corn. Why were we talking about corn?
I'm from Indiana. There's nothing here but tires of corn.
Oh,
Well, he's talking P-O.
we're talking about corn
So
because
how
you
can you
can't
tell
stand
a
some
dude who's
words.
watching a lot of corn?
They're just very unsettled. And then when a woman comes around, that unsettledness
Like that?
comes out. It's just
They're like,
unsettled. Yeah, exactly. That's men are walking around going, "La, la, 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 la." Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. But okay, no, but back to you were saying how you can't not check out an ass, right?
yeah, I mean,
Look, we're humans, right? We're
yeah.
humans. We're part advanced being and part animal. You know, a lot of animals like they go up and like stick their finger near some their compadre's ass and smell it. Look,
That's
humans,
the way to get to know somebody.
right? Humans look at each other's asses. That's why it's so ridiculous because you know what, it can tell you a lot about a person too. How
Yoga
hard
pants
of a
don't lie.
worker you are. No, because yeah, well, yeah, there's a few things that don't lie. Small children and yoga pants.
And seniors.
Yeah, well, some of those lies. You know, you got to watch out for these boomers.
Oh God, that's such life.
No, but the point is, you can tell a lot about a person by their ass, like how fit they are. You
Quit
know what
trying.
I mean? Like there's valid reasons. You know. Oh, another thing you can tell. Here's
Oh,
another thing you can tell.
I just got fuzzy.
If you have that rounded posture where you have no ass, that means that you've been in a state of fight or flight for a long time because you're
Oh,
curling your tail underneath. You're in a curled tail position. So there's a lot that, so then you know you're looking at that person, they have been through a lot of trauma. It's blocked by your drum kit.
I know,
I did hear
convenient.
that. The mic
Great.
picked it up though. The mic picked it up.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I can't even.
Can't
Yeah,
even.
I didn't do
Can't,
theater in the
can't,
round because I don't like
can't
the way my
even.
butt looks.
It's what?
I did not do theater in the round because I don't like the way my butt looks in the back.
Hmm. Okay.
I'm not even lying because I was like, oh God, I'm insecure about it. Meanwhile, I have the best butt picture. Like I have the best butt picture, and I did it on a selfie stick. It's one of those that like if you see it, all my pictures I took myself, but one I just had to get a shot of my butt. I have like the best butt picture. It's like I'm proud. I'm so proud. I just don't. I don't. I leave
Um,
out the part that it took 100 tries.
so there's 100. You took 100 tries to get the right angle.
To get the one, you have to like
Do
hold
men
up your
do this
phone.
these days? Because I do men do that shit these days, or is that
I
just a
don't know if they're
woman
getting
thing?
clever with the selfie sticks, but they definitely take pictures of themselves. Yes. But you know what? My favorite fellow of my whole life, never. He one time sent me one. God, it was so hot. But it was yeah, not a dude to send me working pictures instead of that. That is way hotter. Anybody who's listening,
What's a working picture?
like a picture of you working or what you're doing, or a picture like
Mm.
what the building you just built or the things you just put in, or it's
Hmm.
hot. It's like the picture of your bike.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Picture like that's hot.
Hmm. Okay.
Like I told you, you should do lives on your TikTok, like in your bedroom. You're like, here I am getting ready for bed.
I know. I'm next time I get into the hyperbaric, I'm gonna try to talk tick when I'm in the hyperbaric.
That's cool. And Leah says, yeah, work pics are so hot that those will get you way happy times, fellas.
Hmm.
Think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
You're like, oh,
what were we talking about?
you
Oh, we were talking about sniffing asses. Yeah. No, yeah. So the people that like that have their men like the women that have their men like on guard, they're afraid to like even scan a room. Like you ever see that
because
the
they're like, you looked at another woman.
yeah, you ever see those like those Instagram videos where like a guy is wearing like a helmet and there's like a beautiful woman in front of them and the girl's like looking at him like don't do it, don't do it, and then takes off the helmet and then there's sunglasses and then like takes off the sunglasses and there's like more protective eyewear
Oh my
and
god.
then take that off and he's not even looking forward, it's the back of his head because you know it's just what
Are
a
you all
crazy
insecure
world.
and weird about that? Like, who cares?
What a crazy world
Yeah.
where they're using that to gain hand on their man, just somebody glancing around a room. You know what I mean? That's just so natural for anyone to do in any situation.
Oh,
There's a
I know.
difference between glancing and eye fucking.
And eyeballing them and
Right.
talking to them
You
and
can
getting their
look but
number
don't
and
eye fuck.
yeah, you check them out.
Yeah. You can look, but then like a cornhead, they'll just be like,
Because you see all the picture in your head already. You see it naked, and
I don't know, but you'll just
your
see
eyeball not
cornheads, they'll just be like,
You're like, I see you naked. Speaking of seeing you naked, this dude Elvis looks so much like my dad, or my dad looked just so much like Elvis, and
Presley?
Presley, yeah. And my dad, like I was like, that could be my dad, and
Mhm.
he used to be so weird. I mean, I have the dad who's not addicted to porn and children, and he would go
You're
like,
saying he was?
well, when I knew him, I don't know what. I assume it hasn't ended. Anywho, so I was like, did you have the kind of dad that would go next door and take his clothes off at the neighbor's house, and you had to move? Was that just you? Was that just
Say,
me?
say that again. I was trying to read a comment from somebody.
Did you have the kind of daddy that would go next door and take his clothes off at the neighbor lady's house and then get kicked out and we had to move? Did you? Was that your life? Is that just me?
Wait, what neighbor lady?
So my dad would go next door
Uh huh.
pretty much wherever we lived. Apparently, this is, and take be visiting the lady, and she'd come out and he'd have his clothes off.
Just a neighbor,
Yeah, just to
and
let
that,
you know that he was available.
and then,
And here it is. And he had a very large, pretty thing.
huh?
Had
And how that? So obviously that worked for him.
at
Otherwise, he would
some
stop.
point, otherwise you wouldn't do it. I don't.
Right.
I mean, but it's just funny. It's just like, did your dad ever do that? Oh, just my dad. Is that? Oh God, I'm. I was trained as a very young kid. Like everything was sex. I was so out of touch with what was going on with terminology and double meaning of today. Like your yoga pants not appropriate for work. Just didn't think the sexual way.
Hmm?
Oh,
Yoga pants are not appropriate for work.
he's like, sure they are. he
Say
was
what?
just, he was trying to figure out terminology. Just
Oh,
didn't think the sexual way.
somebody on my Instagram said, I think he's saying it's there's so much light in this room, it's hard for me to see the screen. But he
So much
says it's
brighter one.
ridiculous the way I was generalizing stereotypes. Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Was it ridiculous the way I was generalizing stereotypes?
I don't know. I think people are really tender
That's true.
and in
Mm.
need to be heard, and they don't think they're mad at you for something you said because at the core of it, they want to be heard and they were never heard. And I love you. Just
And then some people that are of a whatever thing, they will call themselves out on their own stereotype. It's like how do you have it both ways? You know what I mean?
hey, I was a dumb model. There's a stereotype
Yeah,
for a reason.
exactly.
And God, those girls,
Yeah,
holy,
you'll be like, "What do I know? I'm just a dumb model." I've heard you say that all the time.
there is
But then if somebody
stereotype for a
calls
reason.
you, then if somebody calls you a dumb model, you'd be like, "Hey." I know you wouldn't, but some people who
No,
are
I'd be like,
dumb
thanks.
models would.
Isn't that what stereotype is?
Say
Stereotypes,
what?
they're stereotypes for a reason because it's like it's common. When I
Well, no,
was
I mean the stereotypes didn't become stereotypes out of nowhere. That's all I'm saying.
oh,
But when you're intelligent, you know that that's not true.
what's not true? I was thinking about yoga pants at the register.
Stereotypes aren't true
Margaritas.
across the board, but stereotypes become stereotypes for a reason.
Right, because it is a
Right.
pattern.
Right.
Yeah. The negative of your dad, you turned into positive to help so many others. I salute you. Aw, thanks, Daryl. It's true. Also, I have a lot of things to say about my father and his weirdo sexual things. I gotta tell you, I'm with him. He's right. You just leave the kids out of it. But his whole thing was just more touching, more O, more P, more. Why not? I agree with him. I really do.
Agree with him? Who's him?
My father,
Agree with him on what?
more sexual activity. I don't agree with the kid that you leave the children out of it,
Ah,
but
I see.
having more sexual activity, and I 100,000% agree with him.
Yeah, I think part of part
And
of
I'm a massage therapist, so I must sleep with my clients.
it's the only way to get to know them closely.
That's how I like to get paid.
Oh, that's funny.
Perfect timing, Rebecca. That's so funny.
Oh,
John
goodness.
zones out. Yes. Yeah. Could you imagine? We could talk privately. Imagining you. We always imagine people in bed, don't we? I mean, don't lie,
Hmm.
right? Don't you do that? I
No, not really.
don't. God, I do.
Like just somebody that
I
you know,
don't. I swear, Rebecca. Really? God.
I don't not I would say no. I would say I would imagine somebody is a woman in bed after we've been on a few dates, perhaps, but not just a woman that I'm passing by on the street.
Right. Well, no. But I don't know. You might see a couple. Do you hang out with couples and you ever think about, I wonder how they are? And some people, I'm like, wow.
I've
Whew.
seen some real fat people that I'm like, how does that even
Sideways,
how do how do they get together? They
sideways,
probably don't.
sideways.
Sideways. Oh. So they're just like really far away from each other, but close there. Okay.
Hey, I
That's
had
not
sideways
what you
sex
want.
with that guy for 10 years. I know how to do it.
I'm sorry to hear that, Angela. Sorry to hear that.
That was one of the funniest freaking moments of my life when I was on stage in Nashville in your hood for that comedy night, and I
Yeah.
did the comedy, and it was funny. It was all right. My hair looked terrible, I think, but whatever. I have my own problems. Um, and it went from comedy to sitting on stage with the doctors, like the gynecologists and
Mhm.
the ladies, and it got serious. We were talking about women's issues and women's health, and
Yeah.
it became serious time. And the owner of PhD, she's amazing, Deanna Seymour. She was like, "Hey, oh, so if you all didn't know, Angela Shelton is also a shaman. Shaman what? Is also a trauma and recovery expert, and she's been all around the country. Blah blah. And can you tell us, Angela, something that you have had to endure and how you got over it?" I just did comedy, and everything got serious all of a sudden. And she
Mhm.
hands me this bike right now, and I just go sideways sex with a fat guy for 10 years. And
How did that, and then of course that went to roaring laughter.
they're literally like, there was white wine spit, like it was a whole, like,
Yeah.
a whole audience of spit take white wine. It was funny.
Mhm.
And I was like, damn, y'all, I'm sorry you're having to endure that. Because whoever laughed, you're only laughing because you know what I'm talking about. That's what makes
That's
it funny.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. For
When I'm
sure.
like, you know what? Incest
That
survivors are better in bed. And when people go, bah! Like the people that do that are, I'm like, oh, you belong to the club.
because the truth and that that's where the comedy
I
is in
know.
the uncomfortable truths.
It's the unfortunate when the best DICK you ever saw was your dad's. That's really unfortunate. Ain't nobody compares to daddy or brother. My ex hubby's wife is huge, and she has that weird flat spot.
The weird flat spot. What's that?
I'm
Who's got
dead.
a
Hold on.
who's got a weird what is a weird
I'm sorry, Rebecca. God, we need to hang out. Can you please come to Nashville for this
a
retreat?
weird
Funny.
flat spot?
So she has the, oh my god, my face. She has the weird flat spot on her butt. My ex and I used to laugh and wonder what that must be like. And it's because you brought it up when you have the flat spot. You've been through a lot of trauma.
Yeah, because your tailbone is tucked under you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you, sisters. I know. I
That's
know.
why literally this is literal body science here. If you practice back bends, it makes you less fearful.
I'm gonna do it.
Getting your tailbone and your being able to bend backward more
Really?
affects your hormones.
I'm back bending it. I'm doing it. Okay. We're back
Mhm.
bending. I've been walking like you, by the way, like two,
Like
three
me.
times a day. Yeah, when you walk, like when we go on walks, you're so.
I walk like very, I walk very like a lot of shoulders
like,
involved. Okay.
you're so perfect. You're so perfectly up straight. You have
Oh,
great posture, is what
oh,
I'm trying to
thank you.
say. And so I've
Thank you.
been walking with, like, model posture
Mhm.
instead of I'm making movies and I hate Screen Actors Guild posture. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's I don't
it's
know.
different. It really is different.
It's like a meditative walk. You're paying attention to how you're walking.
The
You
filter
go,
back
you go,
order.
girl. You go, girl.
The filter.
Slay.
That's a great line. The filter is my filter is on back order.
I like that. Yeah. Sorry,
I
guys.
want like a PC
My
mask.
filter is on back order. I'm gonna use that on my rides
My
when.
filter's on back order. I love it. And the masks that we had to wear, I
Yeah.
was like, we should have the PC version that says like whatever the person needs to hear. It does it for you. It's like a Saturday Night Live episode of
Mm.
like it's a mask that like you want to say whatever, like hey, hello, sir, or whatever, but it comes out right to whoever needs to hear it, however they need to
Oh,
hear it.
I see. I just say thanks for keeping us safe every time I see someone with a mask on.
I only take 2%.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Wow, that's low. If I back in while walking around, I'd be shuffling. If I back bend, oh yeah, that's funny.
Oh, so
Back, you
another
look like a crazy person. You look like a. Nah.
if you do that with your arms, yeah, that's gonna attract attention when you're walking into
Like
a
this.
room. If you're going, "Yeah." So have you noticed this? So by the same guy said, essentially, I think he said he didn't like me referring to boomers as boomers, and
Oh God.
I've noticed this about boomers. They don't want to be known as a boomer. Why do you
They don't
think
want
that
to see
is, Angela? Why do boomers not want to
because
be
they're
known as?
big babies.
Hmm.
I told that to my mom.
What was the generation before boomers?
Good question. My
Yeah.
grandmama.
It's that, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there was a generation whatever they call them.
Great. Wait, hold on. Dale just commented, great posture and disrespectful to people that are overweight and flat butts. You come off so smart sometimes. Hear yourself.
Say that what?
I'm just like, I just can't even. I don't even know what to say, Dale. If you
Can't
think,
even?
all due
You
respect,
literally can't even, or like totally can't even.
recession era. Dale, if I was having, it was me having a laugh at my ex's big butt, not Sean. Just having a laugh. Oh,
Hmm.
got you. Oh, he's reprimanding us.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
see. Dale. Oh, I see. He's saying, Sean, you have great posture and you're disrespectful to people who are overweight. Uh,
Oh,
well, yeah,
well,
I
yeah,
wouldn't even, I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I wouldn't say you're disrespectful. You're not allowed to ride if you're over 300 pounds.
250 now. I've lowered it to 250.
Because of
Well, I mean, I had a broken bike, so if well, one thing I do say on my ride is if people look to be alarmed when I say you must pedal on this ride, and they're like, "Oh, are we gonna run out of battery? Are we gonna make it?" And then I'm like, "Y'all don't have to worry. Y'all are gonna make it. It's you're not rotund, you know, because it's a real thing. It's not
you
a
wouldn't be able to not, if you might not be able to literally not do it. Yeah.
yeah. If you're rotund, like there has to be special things done for rotund people. That's fine.
Rotund. Well, they can't go,
Yeah, they can't go. Not
first of all.
anymore.
They can't go.
Have broken bike.
Break them.
All of like the terrible things that have happened have involved the fats on my ride. Hmm. I mean, there
It just, you don't mingle well. That's fine. You just don't, they
it's
can't
an
go.
active thing, you have to be
Very
able to
active. Yeah.
control the bicycle. You have to be able
For
to get
bikers.
on and off. When you can like hear the rims creaking and like the tires screaming. It's
They could
it's a
start with a spin bike that can really
well, no, it's just
start.
about safety. It's about safety. I need to keep them safe.
Speaking of random, totally
Hmm.
random, I saw a spin bike class in
Yes.
Puerto Rico
Hmm.
that was literally facing the ocean. It was really kind of awesome.
Okay.
Actually. It was like spinning and you're facing the ocean. It
Y-
was
I would so you go and you pay money to ride a bike that doesn't move and to have people scream at you to ride faster on a bike that doesn't move.
towards the ocean. Yeah. You have a nice view.
Okay. Well, that's better than at least you have a nice view for that one because most of them you're in like a dark room.
Yeah, it's like a gym without with a great music. Yeah, I used to spin class in LA.
Yeah. Some would say not great music, but
Depends. I liked Pilates. That was fun. Those machines. That was cool.
yeah, Pilates.
Oh my god.
Ah, Pilates. Girl, go
Yeah.
to Pilates.
Now
Go
my
to
elbow it hurts because I've been working with a lot of men.
You
not,
gotta slow your cadence down.
not like that.
You
Not
don't
like
need to be going that fast.
on a motorcycle. Oh, I love motorcycles. No, he has e-bikes that are super cool. I want that's his company is Music City e-bikes, and I had your little flyer of it's over at Brother House, but it is amazing. Check it out,
Yes.
Meredith. It is Music City e-bikes in Nashville. So
.com.
fun.com.
Yeah.
And it is so
Or
fun. 16 and a half miles. I'm going in August,
mhm.
3 times a day. Like I like it.
That's the proper amount. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Or snack. Or bedtime.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing. And also the one in Nashville is where all his stuff is. That's my
Hmm.
friend Sean, if you're new to him. He creates Regenerate. That is, by the way, I have given Regenerate to so many people in my little sample packs.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's very, very, very helpful. A lot of dudes who are super anxious
That helps with that.
Wisconsin. I got an event being organized in Wisconsin. You can come in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah, so why I mean, I don't know, what's the proper name for boomers generation? Because boomers don't like to be called boomers.
Oh, back to that. I said to my mother, I was like, oh, I was talking to Sean. What he have to say? And we talked about how the boomer generation what are big babies, and you're never really taught to grow up. So like you're stuck in like a baby, like you have to parent yourself, which has been a big stretch for her lately. She's having to like understand she's never done it
Mhm.
like properly for
Well,
herself.
I think it was by design because they wanted to have more control over the people, so they kept them to be forever children. That's one of the things with Taylor Swift,
What about
be-
her?
because
I like her music actually.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's nice. It's nice dancing music. Riding in your car, and it's always about some dude. And it was at your point. It's like she's the whiny, never gonna have a good dude singer.
Well, no, it just if you're 36 and you're essentially what you're doing is
Taylor Swift.
being a forever child.
Because you're into Taylor Swift. See, I have a 10-year-old, so I'm
No,
not.
I'm saying if the role that you're playing is to be a forever like teenager, child isn't the wrong one, but
Oh, like you're partying.
yeah.
I'll make you.
And then all of the like songwriting is just kind of like from a teenage girl's perspective.
He didn't buy me flowers.
Yeah. I
So,
think that's Miley Cyrus, but that's like
oh
what
yeah,
is
I
it?
can buy myself flowers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
what the hell is up with so many rules with dudes? And I hear it from both sides. And oh my gosh, and I hear it from the married couples both sides too. There are so many married couples, Sean, that have not had the sex chemicals for years. I
Hmm.
don't even understand that. I'm like, why are you in the same room?
Hmm.
Why are you living together? I'm like, what the fuck?
I
But
think
I can say I've been very beneficial and very helpful. You're welcome, y'all.
spreading truth. Yeah, it's just kind of seems to me that that's part of being human, but
Right? What would you love to do, Leah? Um, she said, I don't know what you were referring to. She'd love to do that. You'd love to come ride bikes in Nashville. You guys need to talk with Uptick and have a question and it oh, like if you have a guadalthrope like that's like a that's called a guadalthrope.
Guadal I think it's a guadal fry actually. It's like when you like talk, but then you like do this at the end. It
Yeah,
just
everything is an uptick. Like you can't even.
that's a different thing.
Mhm.
The up is a different one, but guadal fry is like when you get it down, like in here, down here.
Where you're just like not even talking.
It's like really bad for your vocal cords and stuff.
Stuff. I love it. Leah, ride bikes. Come ride bikes with us in Nashville, August. If you go to iloveangelashelton.com/Nashville, check it out. So yes, that let me fat this my big fat check back. We'll get
Hmm?
our yes, Rebecca. You have to come to Nashville. It's iloveangelashelton.com/Nashville. You have to do it.
It must be done.
And I've told you too, if you when not if, but when you take that HCL training, but if you need the link, I'll give it to you. Uh, I will cover your thing to come to HCL or come to.
You talking to Rebecca?
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah, she would do great with that training, with what she's doing in the world, with what access that it would give her to people, and
Hmm.
her own leadership training and
Hmm.
smart move. There is a gorgeous girl too in mine who checked you out, Sean.
Oh yeah? Send me a link.
She's taken, but she did say like, "Wow, he would be so good if he took HCO."
Oh yeah.
Such a deal, Sean. I've been cracking
Right, right,
cracking
right.
codes.
This is the HCL that you can't explain what is
Yeah,
so good
it's
about it, but it's just
emotional.
so good.
It's emotional
Yeah.
training and leadership training and
Mhm.
purging and team building, and it's great. Angela, don't tell him. Don't tell him anything. I won't tell. What am I not telling? Of how smart you are and what she's. Oh, yeah, you got Rebecca. You got to come to Nashville because Sean wants to do what you're doing. You remember
Was
all the stuff you were reading up on of the sovereign becoming like a state, like
Oh, yeah,
lobby,
yeah,
lobby,
yeah.
lobby. That's
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Yeah. I've
She's
got a
like
bunch
10
of
steps ahead of
links.
you. You know what I mean?
So she has a trust set up
She's
and
already like down that
is an
path.
American national and has sent off a certificate of revocation.
I don't know all the details yet, but oh, she just started her regenerate again today. Me too. I've been taking it again too. It's great.
Mhm.
You know what I've been doing, Rebecca, and I recommend put 2 scoops, not or maybe even 3, into a whole fever tree ginger beer
Mhm.
or any kind of any kind of bubbly ginger beery thing, and add like a splash of cherry juice and
Mm.
it makes it frothy. The regenerate makes it frothy, and then you sip it. So you don't down it, so you sip it, and then
The
the heat stays with you.
Yeah, the prolonged heat rather than getting a surge of heat would definitely work better too. So doing in that method would
Super good.
definitely um, extending the heat rather than having it go peak is
Oh,
definitely better.
tell him that I just made a negotiable instrument into the franchise tax board, and I overpaid, and I got a check back.
Negotiable instrument. Okay.
You don't know. Noise, she said. Oh yeah, that drink. I'm telling you, sip it, and then it's great. And then also take his loot, and then that drink, and then get with your man and have his, and then call me.
Mhm.
I'll tell you some things. I've been
You'll poke,
helping the ladies and
you'll
the fellas, man. I got some good shit to do in the
what?
bedroom. It's like wow. I should teach classes. Oh wait, I do. And you know what? You know what's really, and you see it too when you're complaining about dating. Uh, it's the women aren't fully in their bodies, and they're like not
Mhm.
breathing, and they're not in their bodies, and I help them with that, and they're because it's got some old trauma, some old grandpa, daddy, uncle, whoever, ex-boyfriend, whatever issue,
Yeah.
and the dude usually had a horrible mom, or their ex-girlfriend or ex-wife did some of the crazy stuff we talk about. Like they're just like, oh, they're so like betrayed and untrusting of women. And then you got
Mm.
survivor, and then you got that dude, and that's the marriage or the relationship or the whatever. And that's the party. And I'm
There's
really good at that. I'm very, very good at like talking to him, talking to her, talking to them together, and then they're off to the races. You're
there's
welcome.
so many trauma bonds, right?
Well, yeah, you're just not expressing yourself, and then your sex life sucks, and it's like I'm not on my watch, y'all. I got some things for y'all to clean that up because
Mhm.
that's just nuts to me. That's nuts.
Mhm.
That you, I mean, one of my sisters was at the doctor's. They set her up for a prostate exam. Besides
No
what
genders.
Rebecca says, Article 3603, Sean.
That's for the franchise excise?
Yeah, Article 3603.
But my question for Rebecca is why not just put your business in a trust and do a certificate of I don't have my notes in front of me, a certificate of revocation and then not pay any tax at all.
I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Because if you put when you start a trust, you can get an EIN, so you can set up all of your businesses without an LLC. You can set up a business inside of a trust.
Wow.
And when you set up an LLC, you are agreeing to pay tax. If you don't have an LLC, there's no agreement to pay tax.
The IRS is our friend. Negotiable instrument. Okay. But yeah, I'll call you later. And I'll be like, what are you talking
Hmm. Negotiable instrument.
And then there's Michael Ricks too, who's been hanging with you. Remember you met him quite a few times.
Yeah.
He uh, he's very much researching and going down that road too. The sovereign, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of people are. That goes back to what you said. Is like living in the present. It's like real time life as
Hmm.
opposed to living on the programming. It is like it's. There's a lot of people are
Hmm.
totally just doing it different. You know, all these rich people are in Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico and they're all moving to Puerto Rico because if you live there 6 months, there's no tax.
4%. Yeah.
It's 4%, not no.
It's 4% Puerto Rico as opposed to like 33. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Revocable trust. Meredith asks, what is a revocable trust?
I believe you use an irrevocable trust when you're setting up your business trust.
Got you. So it's irrevocable trust.
I
That's what
believe.
like, rich people do with their families. That's like what the Rockefellers did, right?
Yeah, and then you can still get an EIN, but you don't have an LLC set up with any state, so you don't have any agreement to pay any franchise and excise tax.
Mm. I I'm like with
There are
all
some limitations though, like it's hard to get credit for a trust because you can't in the trust your
what
assets are protected, so you can't give up an interest in your assets to get a loan.
Right. Yeah. I don't. My ass. I have that one picture.
What?
Assets. I was thinking
Oh,
assets, and I was like, oh god. And credit scores. Oh god. I'm like, I'm an artist, y'all.
yeah, you still have
Okay.
you
Oh
still have
goodness.
your government name can still have credit. Your
Got,
trust cannot.
got you. So many things to think of,
Mm.
and ways to um, just go outside the box. There's like ways you can get property really differently now, and I'm like, wow. There's so many.
That's the one that I want to look into first
Very
because
cool.
if you owned the land patent, you don't have to pay property tax.
It's like wild out there when you start like uncovering all this stuff. So
Yeah.
we've been so busy, many of me and my friends. I mean, we're just getting out of our sympathetic nervous systems and into our parasympathetic nervous systems, thanks to you, and seeing even what you that you can even have it enough together to do that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
otherwise you've been
Mm.
living in like PTSD world.
Right. Yeah, that's the game. That's where they want you to be because then you're in fear and then they have control. It's like a flock of deer just changing directions because they're all in fear. That's what they've
Mm.
done. That's what they've lowered humanity to. The
Yeah,
proverbial
her
day.
picture goes back to my mind goes to my pictures. It didn't actually go to my pictures. It went to my assets. My asset. I have so much assets. I'll come on soon and we can talk about. Yes, she's rescinding her mortgage. You need 3 to 5 trusts: an estate trust, a banker's trust, a foreign grantor trust. I'm an individual banker now. Watch, see, she's on the train.
Can,
She's
can you send me that post, Angela? Email me that post
yeah. That's
because that was one of the things that I've been researching is how many trusts do I exactly need and what purposes. Yeah. And then also, yeah, then you got to get into the language of the trust too.
yeah. She says you need an irrevocable trust inside a holding company. See, I told her she needs to do a whole. podcast and then sell it
Yeah,
and like
there's
keep it
people
because
that are doing that.
people
There's multiple people doing that, and
need
they're
to know
making
how
good
to do
money.
it.
They're
Yeah.
making good money on that. I mean, yeah, or a class, or just a paid access to have a weekly chat to just keep pushing it forward another notch. Do steps 1 through 3, and then come
Own
back
nothing,
next week.
control everything.
It's what?
Own nothing, control everything.
Right. Hmm.
Having a trust fund would be good. Yes, seriously.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I want one. I do have one with
And
God.
and then you can write in your trust what the trust operates, what it does. So you could have the trust written in the trust. You could have it where it always provides you a home.
I can't imagine taking people's money to escape slavery.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay. What does that
Yeah.
mean? Decades ago, I had to learn a lot of that as an insurance agent. Oh, yeah, I bet, Eugene. I started down that path. I'm like, listen, put me on stage. I'm funny. I don't want to do all this like analyzing paperwork. Oh, God, please, can
I
I do it? Can
I totally get that.
can I do it? Can I have any other job? I'll do the dishes. I'll drive trucks. I want my CDL license. I'll do all that. I'll play with the boys. Oh, here's my kiddo. I think we're
All
at time,
right. All right.
my love.
Would you send me those
Right,
those
Dan.
comments from Rebecca?
Okay. Bye. Um. Yes, I will. Yeah. How do we get the comments? Oh, on our thread, I think. But I'm gonna set up a call with you two. That's what I think. Plus, Rebecca, you need to come to Nashville for real, August 2nd to 3rd, and just 4th, and just ride and talk. We'll drink loot.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the word that needs to be spread to everybody to
Loot.
avoid well, no, I'm saying to avoid the 33% tax. That's mass non-compliance, setting up trusts, owning nothing, and having control of everything.
Yeah. How do you stay so calm? Sean Jean wants to know. And then I gotta go to my kiddo. Loot.
Anytime I feel stress hormones come on, I immediately extend and deepen my breaths. The last time I did that was when a Mercedes was tailgating me today.
And you're like, hey, Gene, imagine if you took deep, long breaths, you would not be a chatterbox.
Yeah, it's all about the breath. If your body doesn't have enough nitric oxide or enough oxygen or enough CO2 actually, if any of that's out of balance, it's like being hungry, but like
Right.
having right. So you're on edge. Yeah,
I'm gonna. I'm packing up, but I can stay live on this. And then this is the
yeah.
behind the scenes.
I would, and you're I need to find where I can watch my YouTube comments. I need to log that in next time. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and no, Rebecca. She's your biggest fan outside of me, I think, with Regenerate too. Like she's
I
lady.
appreciate that.
Yeah, it does really work. I love it, and I'm glad I gave you a new way to drink it, Rebecca. It is great. Like that's because it gives me the idea if I'm drinking a beer, it makes it frothy and kind of like funky. I like funky beers, so it's like I put in the cherry juice, the ginger beer, or a club soda or something. But anything Fever Tree is amazing. They should get married. I'm gonna call Fever Tree and be like, "Hey, Fever Tree, you should meet Regenerate." I don't know. They'd be all happy. It is
I'm
true.
gonna order some of these fever trees just because you've been
It's
talking it
great.
up.
Try
So
any of
I'm
them.
gonna
Like
get
if they have a
fever
variety
tree.
pack, like they have like a blood orange one that's great with Regenerate. They have it's all good.
It's all
Good
good. It's all good. It's all good, baby, baby.
Ugh. Except my love life. It's hard to get a date when you make an incest movie, Sean. You know why? Because people will start telling you their stories,
Hmm.
and I can't tell you how many times I have like held another man crying. It is
Hmm.
a real thing out there in this world.
It's God's work you're doing, Angela.
Especially the BBC story. I told that story to somebody today, the BBC story, and I said, I'm just doing
What is
God's
it?
work. And she goes, actually, that's not God's work.
What is
I was
it?
like,
What is it then?
that would be Satan's work. If that's, I was like, oh, come on now. Come on now.
Look here now.
He's like,
Well,
let the boys play if they want to.
let the boys watch.
Let the boys
Let let
watch.
the boy watch.
I wish.
He needs to learn how his fathers learned. How his father's father learned.
Oh my god. And Angela's dirty mind. This is my little. Oh, I did. I'm gonna go back over there.
You got to get it back over there.
I'm shutting her down.
Yeah, I got to shut her down too.
Shutting her down.
I got to see a man about a horse. All right, it
Play it
was
consistently. It's
wonderful
working.
talking to you. What's that? You're chopping out, but yeah. So next Thursday, 7 o'clock, True Thursdays. Um, I hope Rebecca joins again. Maybe we can bring Rebecca on to talk about some trusts.
Let's do it.
That'd be fun.
I'll hit her up.
Let's stop. Yeah.
All right, bye. My computer's
All
dying
right.
too.
All right. I'll see you.
Bye.